a really easy, mom-friendly, less than 10-minute makeup tutorial. In most cases, if I'm gonna wear makeup, it looks like this. This is not a big, elaborate, glam look. This is not anything that's gonna take you too long. This is just how to throw on a couple different things that are really gonna accentuate your features and help you feel like you're pulled together. I don't do this every day. I'm not gonna pretend that I wear makeup every day. I probably wear makeup 3 to 4 days a week, if that, and usually it's something simple like this. Occasionally, if I have time and really if I have my husband home to watch Ava, I'll do something more elaborate, and I love doing that. I really miss doing makeup. I was a freelance makeup artist for about 8 years. I did weddings and makeup lessons. I also ended up doing a lot of photo shoots and music videos and even some fashion shows, which was really fun, and eventually ended up working with a cosmetics company. But it's been a long time. I really miss it, and I feel kind of out of the loop, so I thought it would be fun to do a little makeup tutorial for you today. But of course, it's going to be mom friendly. It's not anything too crazy. Here we go. Okay, I like to start with a primer. I am not 100% sold on this one. It was a few dollars, so I thought it was worth trying, but it's an e.l.f. Cosmetics Mineral Infused Face Primer. I have a lot of pores and texture on my face, so I like to put something down that will help the makeup go on smoothly. Oh, hi, Muppet. Foundation. The foundation that I use is MAC. I've been a MAC girl for years. I know a lot of people say that MAC makes them break out, and if it doesn't work on your skin, then you gotta use what works best for you. But for me, I use Studio Fix Fluid. It goes on really smooth. It's good coverage. It's buildable for when I want to wear more, and it's not super matte and heavy looking. So I shake the bottle. I get some on my finger. I dab it on my cheeks, forehead, nose, upper lip, chin. And then when I'm doing this really quickly, I just use my hands, clean hands. When I'm doing a quick makeup job, I don't have a lot of time. I will just go all the way up under my eyes, try to cover up those dark circles a little bit. If I do have time, I will do an under eye concealer and the whole bit, but today we don't have time for that. Next up is my favorite powder. You have to set your foundation. I always use the Mineralized Skin Finish from MAC. It is amazing. It's the best. There's nothing like it. It has a beautiful finish. I'm completely out of mine pretty much, so we're gonna get what we can out of it. I'm using a big fluffy brush from MAC, a 138. It's also really good for contouring because it comes to a point, but today obviously we're not doing a lot of that, so it's also really good for powder. Always make sure that you're setting your under eye well too, so that if you have any fallout from your eyeshadow, it's not going to get stuck and get smudgy. Okay, next up would be your bronzer or your contour. Today we're not going to do a crazy contour, but we're just going to do a little something just to give a little bit of shape. Now in one of my MAC Pro palettes, I'm going to be using Bone Beige. I'm using it just where you would be putting a bronzer or a contouring powder. You want to get it in your cheekbone and above. You don't want to go down below or it'll start to look really sloppy. Now I'm doing this without a mirror because I don't have a whole setup like all the fancy beauty gurus do, so I'm using the viewfinder, so I don't even know what this looks like. I hope it turns out okay. Go along your hairline, then down on the sides of your forehead a little bit, and then I always like to go under my jawline a little bit, just for a little bit of definition. Now if we were doing a full date night look or something, we would be doing a lot more contouring than that, but for today, that's all we're gonna do because we're making this quick. Next is blush. It makes you look fresh and awake and healthy. So this is my favorite MAC blush. Obviously, I've hit pan. It's called Peaches. I love any orangey, peachy colored blush. I'm not big on like real pinky. Now you wanna smile. This is the apple of your cheek, this roundness. You wanna start right at the fullest part of your cheek and then sweep up, just basically right above where you put that contour. And I always kind of blend it in towards my nose a little bit and up. You can think of this as sort of like a triangular shape right here. Again, smile, apple, sweep it up. If you're gonna do like a full glam, real contoured look, you're not going to want to put this in this triangle. But if you want to have a very natural flush, that is exactly where you want to put it. I used to work for Bobbi Brown, and that was like her biggest thing with blush, is to put it in towards your nose, in really the fullest part of your cheek to give yourself a natural flush. Now, I always like to have some kind of a highlight or a shimmer just because I feel like it makes me look a little bit fresher. Everybody's different. That might be a little bit too high maintenance for your super quick everyday look, but I like to do it. I'm using a Bobbi Brown shimmer brick. This was a special edition, unfortunately, but they're all beautiful. This one is called Pink Quartz. It's kind of a rose gold color, and I am using a MAC 130 brush. It is a mix of synthetic and real bristles, and it's very short and dense, so it's really good for buffing it in. Now, the shimmer brick has these stripes. You can use them individually for eyeshadows if you want to. I used to do that a lot, but now I mostly just sweep the whole thing and then hit just the high point of my cheekbone and then kind of down on that full part of my cheek. Now, you can also do something called strobing, which is where instead of contouring your whole face, you're using some kind of a highlight like a cream or a powder highlight to accentuate the high points of your face. So I like to do that even in my really quick everyday look. So I'll go down the center of my nose, I do a little bit across my forehead, a little on my upper lip, and a little on my chin. If I'm really going to get fancy, sometimes I'll even do it on my jawline. Now, that might not be for everybody. That's totally okay. I'm somebody who likes to be super shimmery, so that's okay if that's not your deal. I like to go in order of steps where if I had to stop for some reason and couldn't do anything else, I would be okay. So at this point, if I had to run out the door, that's okay. I feel like I'm evened out. But my next step is going to be eyebrows because they're really, really important. So I've been using the e.l.f. cream eyeliner. I know it's not for brows, but their brow products, in my opinion, don't do anything. They're pretty bad. I did purchase their brow kit, their eyebrow kit. It comes with sort of a wax and a powder, and it basically was like putting nothing on. So I don't recommend it. I do recommend this. It stays on really well, it goes on smooth, and it's not so crazy looking that it looks unnatural. This one is in coffee, and I do need a mirror for this because I'm not a magician. I'm using a super fine eyeliner brush. So now we've got our brows on. At this point, we could stop if we needed to, but we're not gonna stop. If you're gonna be doing eyeshadow, I always do an eyeshadow base, or else it's just gonna crease and get oily and weird throughout the day. I love to use the Pro Longwear paint pots from MAC. This one is in Bare Study. It's kind of an iridescent, kind of peachy nude color. And I am just going to apply that with my finger lightly over my whole eye area. Our super quick look. I like to use something that I already have out. This was my contouring palette from MAC. I'm going to be using Accentuate all over my lid as just a base color, and then I'm going to be using a blush called Margin just on my lower lid. Now, I'm using a big fluffy brush to do this. This is the MAC 224 brush just to get base color on there. And then I'm going to use a shorter, denser brush, which is not a MAC brush. It doesn't have a name or a number or anything. I could not tell you what it is, to put that lid color on. This is really weird, you guys, putting makeup on without a mirror. Super weird. Okay, now for liner, because we want to do something that's really easy. We don't want it to be really harsh and defined because it's going to be harder to get perfect. So in this case, I'm going to be using MAC's eyeshadow in Typographic. And I'm going to be using a short, dense, natural bristle brush. You can also get the brush wet if you want a little bit more definition, but in this case, I just want to darken along my lash line. I like to go a little bit thicker in the corner. In the outer corners on the bottom, just to balance it out. Okay, mascara. Now, if you didn't have time to do eyeshadow and eyeliner, that's totally fine. A lot of days, I only do mascara. Don't feel like you have to do all the steps. This is just if you have the time. If my husband is home and he's available to take Evangeline so that I can get ready, then I'll do more of the steps. I have been using MAC's Hot and Naughty Lash. This is a really interesting mascara because it has two different kinds of bristles. If you unscrew it from the purple one, it leaves a lot more product on the brush. If you unscrew the hot pink one, it takes a lot more product off the brush so you get more definition and not as much density. I like to use the purple cap version on my top eyelashes and then the pink one on my bottom lashes. I do have to use a mirror for this. I don't want to poke myself in the eye. When you're putting on mascara, make sure that you are wiggling it at the very base of your lashes and then working it. We're going to do our bottom lashes. The last step for this look is just to use a really easy neutral color, something that's really close to your natural lip color so that you don't have to be really precise in the application. If you wanted to do something a little bit more fun, you could do a bright red or pink lip just to spice up the whole look. I am using a color called Hug Me from, you guessed it, MAC. This video is not sponsored, I promise. And there you have it. We're all done. This would have taken me less than 10 minutes on a normal day, so it's not too bad, and like I said, you can cut out some of the steps. Okay, that's all for today. Say goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
This is not some big... This is not a big... Yeah, even knows. I'm using a big... Blush is really important. Even super quick look because it gives you a... Ava's getting a little fussy. She is on the floor right next to me. Mom. No! Oh my god. I am so mad. My dog just peed on the bed. I can't even look at her face right now, okay? If we're in a rush, we just want to do it quickly. If we're in a rush, we just want... Literally, every time I start talking, she starts grunting.